Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is your boy McGrillyHD coming back at you with another Pokemon Unite video, and today is going to be the first of hopefully many tier lists that I make. This is just going to be my personal opinion. I'm sure it's going to be wrong, and some people are going to have some different opinions, but we're honestly just going to hop right into it. So how I'm going to rank this is based off of people I play, and I'm going to be ranking this at more of a average player sense, as opposed to a top player sense, because obviously I'm not a top player. I play with, around average ELO players usually, so I will be ranking this as an average player. And yeah, so Venusaur, from what I have seen, he's not too great. He takes a while to scale up, and if you can get on Bulbasaur very early, especially in the earlier ranks, you can take advantage of this build up to Venusaur and kind of crap on him. Like, he's not amazing, so I'm gonna put him in the D tier. Feel free to comment down below on where you would place these Pokemon, and all of this is obviously subject to change. This is just, within a week of me playing the game. This is my personal opinions. Gengar, I'm gonna put in A tier. At a normal level, he's amazing, don't get me wrong, but I do think, in my eyes, there's one Pokemon who's S tier that we will get to, and he just doesn't do as much damage as that Pokemon. He does a lot of damage, very good burst potential, but does have skill shots, which can be harder for average players to land. So I'm gonna put him in A tier for that reason alone. Mr. Mime, all the ones at the ELO I have played are around C tier. I've seen some amazing Mr. Mimes, and if you know what you're doing, he can be very, very good and super annoying. But at an average level, there are just better options for defender. Well, he's a supporter, but there are better options that you could replace with on your team. Now, Snorlax, I'm going to put in the S tier because he's big, he is a tank, and he absolutely can turn team fights if the Snorlax knows what they're doing. Not very mechanically dependent, and like I said, he can take a bunch of hits. So I think for an average player, Snorlax would be a good pickup, and possibly will help you climb up the ranks a lot faster than some of these other champions due to him not being as mechanically intensive. Gardevoir at a low level really is D, but some of the ones I've played against have been pretty good. So if you know what you're doing, Gardevoir, probably around average. Again, there's more attackers that can be useful and put out more damage than she can, so that's why she's going in B for me. I just see no reason to pick her when there are other options out there. For Absol, I'm going to put Absol in A as well, purely based on the fact of her burst damage. The Absol burst is just absolutely crazy. If you can get fed on Absol, then you will be golden. That's really it. I haven't played Absol, I've only played against Absol, so I don't have too much to go off of. Like I said, this is based on me playing against players at the average ELO, so unfortunately I don't have too much to go off of for some of these Pokemon, such as Garchomp. I don't think Garchomp's amazing. I'm going to put Garchomp in C tier, especially from videos I've watched, but you don't see too many of them either, so that makes me also think that he's not the best if he doesn't have a super high pick rate. And the ones I have seen either somehow snowball a little bit and actually help the team, or they're non-existent. So for that reason alone, C tier. Lucario is pretty solid, has a lot of damage output and good range potential. I think I'm going to go with A tier for Lucario. Really good all-round character, one of the better all-rounders, if not, I'll say second best all-rounder that's in the game right now, and lots of damage output, good range, just a pretty good all-around character. Crustle, I might have to put him in A. It's between A and B for me. I'll put him top of B, I think. Not Greninja. Greninja, go back down. Yeah, I think Crustl's top of B, very fast, tanky, and can just be a real annoyance. He's at least top of B, possibly bottom of A. It just really depends on, you know, how annoying the Crustle is themselves. I think Snorlax is a better defender option if you only want one on your team, but for a secondary option, I do think he is very, very good. Greninja, I'm going to go in A tier. Good escape options, good damage, good range, pretty, you know, just pretty solid character here, and I don't think he's too terribly difficult to learn. I mean, just a simple, solid, all-around character. Talonflame at a lower level. The highest I can put him is above Gardevoir in the B tier. The good speed helps a lot, but he doesn't do as much damage from the gameplays that I've seen. And there are just better options such as Absol and Gengar. I don't necessarily see why you would pick the Talonflame if you're looking to climb the ranks. Now Charizard, I'm going to rank Charizard higher than most people probably would. I think he is probably C tier above Garchomp. Just because if you run him jungle, you can speed him up to level 9 and get Charizard. Charizard is super powerful in this game, but if you try to lane with him, getting from Charmander to Charizard takes a very long time, and it's super difficult. You don't have very strong attacks early on, and you lose a lot of fights. So for that reason, he's in C, but if you're playing him jungle, I think he goes up in the tier list a good amount. Now Zeraora is going to be S tier. Lots of damage output, very fast, good range, pretty simple mechanically to learn, extremely quick burst, and is super helpful in team fights. I would honestly say the best jungler to learn the core mechanics of how to jungle in the game, but also can be played in lane. That's another reason why Gengar is going to be down low, is because I feel like every Gengar that I've played with, or when I do try to play Gengar in the lane, he struggles very heavily, whereas Zeraora can actually produce in the lane as well as in the jungle, and that's going to put Zeraora in S tier for me. Now to Cinderace. I personally think Cinderace is the best character in the game, no questions asked. Above everyone by a long shot. Lots of range, easy to level up, good attack speed. We'll get to Eldegoss, but just good range. You can, if you're jungling Cinderace, you can literally be out of range autoing the minions, and you'll dodge their long, like, startup attacks. So for that alone, it can solo Dreadnought, solo Rotom, not take too much damage, turn tides of a team fight, can go invincible, you know, just tons of damage, tons of escape options, very mobile. You can realistically get away with running a potion. You don't even have to run Flash or eject button on her to really get full use out of Cinderace, which, you know, it's a big deal. If you can run potion, that gives you an extra couple seconds in the fight, and you can use that to survive. So just based on everything I've seen and I've played with, Cinderace is top 1 for me right now. If there was a SS tier, I would be putting Cinderace there, but that's just my opinion. Now Eldegoss here, I think Eldegoss is probably top of A. Only true support character in the game, and is pretty tanky, can do a lot for your team, can actually turn the tides of team fights if the Eldegoss is good. And if your team has an Eldegoss and the other team doesn't, and the Eldegoss knows what they're doing, it gives you an extreme advantage, because you will get shields and, you know, all the health that Eldegoss gives you. So for that reason, I'm putting Eldegoss in the A tier. Cramorant. I'm going to put in A above Greninja purely because of one of the same reasons why Cinderace I think is top. The range. Cramorant's range is nuts. Cramorant does a lot of damage at range. It's just not as good of damage output as Cinderace. That is why he's not S tier. And I personally think that the characters that I have above him right now just provide a little bit more than he does. In my opinion, the Cramorants just provide a good backline attacker with solid range and solid damage. Everyone else ranked above him provides some other possible role. In Cramorant, you can only play in lane. Lucario, you could play lane or jungle. Absol, you probably could play lane or jungle, but mostly jungle, and provides that role. Gengar, again, jungle, provides the role. Eldegoss, support, helps the team, fills a role. Like, all these characters can just hyper carry realistically. Snorlax is the only one you might could say doesn't hyper carry, but he can turn tides of a fight, and he can get a lot of kills, even as a tank. Blastoise we're not ranking because he's not in the game yet. Pikachu, I'm going B tier. Good range, can stun, but in comparison to the rest of the attackers doesn't have solid damage output. Clefable's not in the game. Alolan Ninetales we will put somewhere in between these two. I think I'm going to put Alolan Ninetales right there for now. Really good early game, good range, a slow, however falls off in the late game. That's the only gripe with Alolan Ninetales, especially for early game. Absolutely insane. Wigglytuff, I might need to make another tier because I think I've played against one the whole time, so I can't really tell you. I'm just going to put Wigglytuff in D. I would like to see some comments based on where you guys would put Wigglytuff, just because I haven't played against any and I haven't played any myself. Slowbro is going to go top of B tier because of his surf and the ability he can pick one person and take them out of a fight completely, which is big as Zapdos. I've actually lost a good amount of games to Slowbros who ult me as a Cinderace or a Gengar at a Zapdos fight. So for that utility alone, Slowbro is going to be top of B tier for me. Machamp. I think Machamp's insanely good, and I think he's underrated. I would say actually below Gengar for the best jungler. I believe these three Pokemon are not in the game as of right this second when I'm making this video, so we are just going to leave them off the list for now. But as I was saying, I think he's the second or third best jungler in the game. Zeraora, Gengar, Machamp, all of those. Cinderace, I consider Cinderace more of a utility, but if you're playing Cinderace jungle, I think Cinderace jungle is the top one. Machamp just provides a lot of utility. His submission allows you to get in very fast, single out opponents, and get good picks. He's an all-rounder, so he has a lot of damage, but he also has a good amount of health and can kind of frontline for you. If you have a Machamp and a Snorlax, you have a good front line that can protect your back line, but can also pick out characters, good CC. So I definitely think Machamp is right now there, and possibly within a few patches with updates to Gengar and stuff, I think he could possibly end up being the best jungler in Pokemon Unite. So this is my tier list. It's just a short, quick video I threw together. Just let me know what you think in the comments below, how you feel about it. Once again, keep in mind that I haven't played all these characters yet, and this is from a average player's perspective. I'm not ranking this as a, top player or how this will play at high yellows. This is just from my ranked experience, my normals experience so far in the game, so please do keep that in mind, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget, leave a like, drop a sub. I will be having more content coming out very, very soon, and I actually am planning on making a super special video, which I think will be really cool for you guys to see. But with all that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed playing Pokemon Unite.